I've spent over 5,000 hours building automations for businesses all around the world, and I found that there is one big and common mistake that most businesses make that causes their automations to fail. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about this problem and how you can go about solving and avoiding it so that your automations actually work. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dave from KidaFlow. Since 2025, we've been able to help over 20 plus businesses integrate AI and automations to actually solve real business problems. And as a result, I've been able to see a couple of things about what works in automation and what doesn't work. And in this video, I'd like to talk about one big problem and how you can go about solving it. So I'm going to be switching over to my screen so that I can be able to share with you the Miro board. The biggest problem that I see most businesses face is lack of a system. What do I mean by a system? Is a place where you have all your data, right? All or at least a significant amount of data about your company. So this data can be either data about your clients, data about your product, or data about your process or operations. So let me explain to you the reason why this is such a big problem. So, and even Alex Hormozi states this. He always says that for you to move to automations or to AI, your company has to be data first. So the idea is if your business doesn't have a sort of system where you're able to see data about your clients, let's talk about maybe, let's give an example of a law firm. So a law firm will, let's say a typical law firm will have, let's say a personal injury law firm will have maybe 1,000 clients. So this data about their clients needs to be stored somewhere. An example of a good place where this is stored and a system is, let's say, a CRM, right? So this can be Go High Level, it can be Filevine, it can be any kind of CRM. Let's even take Airtable or Google Sheets for an example. The problem that I see most businesses have, especially this happens with small businesses, is that they want to move on to AI and automation, but there lacks data. And I've gotten this, especially when I was starting out KidaFlow. There was a lot of queries from businesses asking, let's say I want to reach out to all my customers automatically every 3 days, and then I want to have AI reply to these messages and then qualify them and then book them a meeting. But then you find out that when you get into the discovery call and you get into the systems, you find out they actually don't even have a system, right? They don't even have a CRM. Probably everything is in sheets. Some things are in their Google Drive, and data is scattered all across different systems. But then I wouldn't really blame them because one, there is less information being put out there in terms of getting these systems. And then the second thing is that most of these businesses have grown so fast that they didn't have the time to switch over to other systems. So they found that whatever they had worked, and therefore it got them to a point in their business where they're good with having whatever they're having right now. But then the problem with that is that everything is everywhere. And I'll just explain to you why it's a problem. One is because it makes it very hard to build a logical flow of activities, right? Logical flow of action. So if you're trying to say, let's say you're trying to reach out to your clients, one, we do not have a place where all your clients are, or if they are, some of them are here, some of them are in a system too, some of them are in Google Sheets, some of them are in Excel, some of them we don't even have. One thing that I think most people overestimate is what AI and automation can do. AI really functions really well when there is data and when there is a process. A repeatable process is when now you're able to do automation. So if there is no data such as this, let's say client data, you're not able to perform all these tasks that you want to. So if it can be done manually, which is one of the most uncomfortable truths that most businesses have to face. If it can't be done manually, if you're not doing it manually, then it probably can't be automated. And adding AI will make it very, very complex and make it break almost every time. So the hard lesson that I had to take is that we always, if a company doesn't have a system, we'll probably have to build one for them. So once again, just going back to this, the data. The data can be either of clients, can be either of your product. So in, let's say, when you talk about e-commerce, you will have like, there's a lot of data about your product, and it can be also be process or operations. And this happens, this is very common with service-based industries. So we're talking about, especially when we have a service-based industry that offers professional services. So thinking accounting, thinking law firms and related. So if you have like a bunch of different systems that are not connected and there isn't a specific flow of actions that you take to accomplish a certain task, then it becomes very, very difficult to automate. But then if you think about it, the big businesses in the world, if you think about big restaurants, they have an automated way, a specific process in which they do things, and that's what allows them to scale. I usually recommend, and this is what we usually have to do. Sometimes it's very painful, sometimes it's very lengthy, and it can take a lot of time because you're building a system from scratch. But the pros of this is that you have all your company knowledge in one place. So if you think about it, all these big organizations usually have all their company knowledge in one place. The second thing is that it helps you collaborate and delegate. Once you systemize, you're able to train new team members very, very easily, right? And then, of course, you're able to layer on now automation in AI to be able to perform tasks so that ultimately you're able to scale. The cons of this is a bit uncomfortable for most businesses, moving from one system to another, and it will probably take a lot of time and it will be an extra expense. How I've gone about building and solving this problem is we always research and get a system for them. So let's say if it's we previously had a personal injury law firm that we were working with, and the background of the problem is that they didn't have a system of putting all their cases in one place. So they had and this is very common with service-based industry, we also had one for accounting. So they have all their data scattered across different places. If they need some case information about one client, they have to contact a specific person in the team, and therefore there's a lot of disorganization, and therefore the time that takes from getting a client to fulfilling is so long. So that was the problem they had, and we were able to build a system for them that does exactly this. It's not as Vicky, but I won't talk about it in this video, but I wanted just to get the point across. The second thing, if you don't know where to get such a system, is probably to consult someone in the industry or analyze big brands in your industry. So you can consult someone who deals with systems. You can search for CRM systems, you can search for CRM experts, operation experts, workflow experts. They will be able to give you quite some good recommendations of the best softwares to use for systemizing your work, whether it's for your clients, whether it's for your data, whether it's for your clients' data, whether it's for your process data, or whether it's for your product data, right? So you can find someone like this probably on LinkedIn. You can find them on Upwork. Good thing that I like to do that we actually do at Kidaflow is that we analyze big brands. We find out what systems are they using, right? It's not usually very necessary to build a system from scratch. There's probably someone who's already built that, has built a good system. Something like Go High Level is so good, you don't need to add so much onto it, right? So if you talk about services sales system, something like Go High Level is quite a good system that will be able to serve most of these industries. But then you can always analyze big brands, get to understand what systems they're using, right? And then get that system for them or get that system for yourself, right? Then is migration. You want to migrate slowly, and then you document your processes so that one, not just for the automation part, but because of anyone else who will be joining your team, it becomes very easy for them to understand the processes. And then finally is where we then do the automation, right? So that's it for this video. I wanted to keep it very, very short, very, very direct to the point. If you know that your business has been struggling, trying to automate, this is probably one of the problems and one of the biggest problems that you might be facing that you need to solve. And from what I've seen, if you're able to solve this, then you're able to make your business very, very easy to automate and to add AI. So if you love this video, make sure to share it and like and subscribe. Thanks.